Hello again. If you found your way to my channel, you no doubt like strategy games. This is a must-try tower defense game with elements of moba in it. When you first get into game, you'll see a list of spells to pick, which you don't have much time to choose. So I'm just going to go for lock-in. Lock-in allows you to pick a tower which you enjoy playing with.
Welcome to Nova.
So I'm going to go with one which I know quite well. When you first get into the game, you'll see that you've got a lane, your allies right next, you've got a lane, and you've got a shared bit. So if one of you leaks, the other army gets a chance to pick up your allies' leaks, and if both of you can't hold the leaks, it'll go to your king. Your king is basically your nexus. If your king dies, it's game over. The enemies have got exactly the same. Your objective is to kill their king, which you can do through sends and stuff. But for wave 1, first thing that you want to do is build an army to defend against the waves. The waves will spawn from this cave here. So will the enemy sends. You've got to then decide after you've built your army what you're going to do with your gold and such afterwards. You can spend gold on Mithram workers here. Your workers here will produce so much Mithram per 10 seconds. More you have, more Mithram you get. You spend your Mithram on units to send against the enemies or to upgrade your king. No matter what you spend your Mithram on, it'll produce an income. Your income it'll give you your income at the end of every wave, so the very last minion that dies on either side, you'll then all get your income. If I was you, if you're new to the game, I would click auto income if you're very new to the game, because it'll just automatically send for the best income that you can get, which will allow you to buy more workers, which will allow you to buy more army, basically. You can go one of two ways. You can try and hold the line and not let anything through and get maximum gold from all the waves, or you can get the gold from the income, which is my preferred way, because if you leak a wave, you've lost a lot of gold if you barely have any income, whereas if you've got an income, you can always rely on your income. If you hold down shift and click, you can queue stuff up, and then it'll automatically build when you've got the right amount of gold. You can also do it to send and king upgrades. Quite a handy, efficient little tip if you've got to go out and get a drink or whatever, or leave the game for whatever reason comes up. Popped at door for delivery, you still know that what you want to do is going to happen. I'm quite enjoying this because if you push hard and the waves take forever, you get that extra Mithram, so you come up with even bigger income. You can see your opponents during the waves if you want to take a peek at what they've got. Your army, there's 4 different damage types which do different amounts of damage on each wave. So impact, pierce, magic and pure. Pure always does the same amount of damage to each one, but all the others have got weak waves, strong waves. So if your opponents are particularly strong or weak versus a certain type of damage, if they're strong you wouldn't send on that wave because they'll no doubt hold, and if they're weak on a wave, send you on that wave and they've got last chance of holding.
Consider it done.
I think I'm going to go all in on pushing hard and hope that it'll pay off on the income. I do not know how this is going to go with Sophia. It doesn't so much matter if you leak early on, because the gold that you lose early on is negligible compared to the income that you get in the long run. I would advise getting a few upgrades for your king though, because when you get to sort of like 5, 6, you can just die on one big leak if you've got no upgrades whatsoever. So you don't have a lot of time before you need to either think about king upgrades or make sure that you hold every time, which is not so viable if you've pushed to 8 by wave 4. I'm not even sure we're going to hold wave 4, we'll see. Your king has got an AoE spell, he's got a single target spell. AoE is good for the normal waves when you've got multiple mobs at once. It just AoEs them down. If you've ever played a game before in your life, you know exactly what I mean. But then you've got single target damage for the boss waves when you send one big single unit at you, which is wave 10, wave 15, wave 20. You need to make sure you've got some single target damage as well. Let's say my ally is a new player, he seems to be doing quite well. Fairly good push. You can see whose send goes to which lane, so my ally's send will always come to this wave on the left, my send will always come to this wave on the right. You can just see your name up there. I don't know when to send. I think I'm just going to income it for now. Hopefully we can just overpower them later on. If you have a look just under your king HP as well, the little different coloured lines, you can see how much people have upgraded their king, so we can still see that they barely upgraded their king. So at this point even a little leak will do a lot of damage, because I do believe they've upgraded their king once, so happy days for them. If they leak again wave 6, it could be over far too fast. Wave 6 tends to be one of the killer waves, which people struggle to hold. You find that wave 6 or 7, people try and send a massive army at you with the normal wave anyway, they'll save the Mithram. So we could always, instead of going on auto income here, we could also save it for a few waves and send a much bigger wave per send. But then you're going to lose out on your income every wave, so it's just that balancing act as always, like every strategy game ever is. Try and find out which works for you in your situation, because what's working for me with crabmen might not work for you with anything else. There we go, these silly buggers are almost going to die off of that, if not die, because they've not upgraded the king one little bit. And this chap here on my side is a brand new player, outclassing them. Not quite as bad as what I thought it would be.
Consider it done.
If you sort of aim for about 8 to 12 by wave 10, you tend to have a fairly good push by that point. Anything else is can be a little bit greedy, but this is the benefit of pushing fast early, because you can see your value there is about right. So if you push early, you get 100 income by wave 7. You tend to be able to push even further, even faster. Whereas if you're reliant on just these, there's no way you can get sort of 14 reliant on just holding. Even if you hold every wave, it's not going to happen. Certainly not by this point. I'm predicting a very short game. What a shame, but At least you get to know the basics. It starts getting a lot harder from sort of wave 10 onwards. You'll come across bigger, more stronger waves. By wave 13 is the one that people really struggle to hold at first. And then you get to know the different damage types as you're holding longer and longer. But it's more important after wave 10. Unless you're at real high-end top extreme and people know exactly what to send on what units. Based on what units you've got on what ways to send, then it does get a little bit silly. You'll have an extra push.
Right away.
Gonna start getting a... Oh, he's already done some. Get some attack ready for wave 10. Then even if we leak, it's not end of world. I suspect these silly buggers, though, are going to die wave 8 because they've not upgraded the king. And they're not holding. Maybe not if they hold. If they've suddenly had to put a lot into their army to hold a bit better, then all of a sudden they're not pushing you workers. Maybe it's probably over. Happy days. Well, that was an extremely quick game. Maybe. They keep hanging in there. There's a lot more to this game than first appears. It's a lot more complex than what you think. And it will keep you going for hours on end. I've lost track of the amount of hours I've played on this game. It's got to be teetering into the hundreds of hours genre. Because it's one of those which you can pick up at any point and have a bit of fun, and it doesn't take over your entire life. In theory, it can do. Do not expect to be getting 200 income by wave 9, that's quite exceptional. And 18 is an extremely hard push. Sorry about my dog barking right off if you can hear it. That was an extremely loud bark. Happy days, and that is the basics of the game. Build an army,
Victory!
Kill the enemy king. Simple as that, at first glance anyway. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I shall see you next time. I really would recommend giving this one a go, because you can probably pick it up off of Steam dead cheap when it's got a sale or whatever on. I don't know how much the standard price is, but this one's been worth every penny. See you next time.